All right, welcome everyone to the much anticipated, super long overdue session 2 of our Into the Thicket. Very excited to be here. It's been 2 months since we played, and it was that moment where Ryan shows up, and I'm like, well, we might not. And then fucking Ben just fucking, like the goddamn Kool-Aid man, just right into
Oh
the Zoom
yeah.
call. He's like, oh yeah. We're like, yes. And then just the energy that we all experienced right in that moment was goddamn fucking beautiful. So anyway, we're gonna go around the table, have everyone quickly introduce themselves, and then we're gonna have a quick recap from none other than Benji. You're the man. Love you. You're beautiful. Great beard. It's fantastic. I'm in such a good mood right now. I'm so glad we all showed up. I'm so excited. This would be great. Yeah. All right, I'm done. I'm gonna stop tweaking. Probably not. So anyway, let's go. Kaz, Ben, Ryan, Brian. Ooh, that rhymes. I like that. Kind of makes me feel certain ways. Don't kink shame. It's rude. All right, Kaz, go first.
Okay. Excuse me. Hello, everyone. I'm Kazerthan. In the game, I play Rune Frostren, Tower Shield Specialist. Um, we'll see how exactly this is going to go along down the line in his path of knighthood. Will he actually be able to redeem himself, or is he going to find an entirely different path that's just going to set him on a completely different course?
Yes, Benjamin.
All right. I'm Ben. On Discord, I'm Umbral Dagger. I will be playing Sinjol, a halfling slayer, and it's been far too long, and it's good to be back.
I like it. That's good. Ryan.
I'm Ryan. I play Conrad, the human war priest. I'm just happy to be here.
I'm happy to be here too. Me too, bud. Make it weird. Bri,
You're making it weird.
Bri. Remember when we started this phone call and we're like, yeah, we're probably not playing tonight.
We're not.
Now we're
No.
fucking.
Here we are.
Shit. We're deep in
Yeah.
the shit. That's good.
I am Bri. I'm also Mind Over Brian on both Twitter and on Twitch, although on Twitch I spell it with a 0. And I am playing Kirk, the tiny rogue. The tiny catfolk rogue. That's important.
He's so tiny, but he's cute. We love him. He's so vicious.
With a very deep voice.
Yes. He has the Batman voice, which I like very much.
That's beautiful. All right, Benjamin, Umbral Dagger, sir. Give us a recap of last session.
All
Good
right.
2 months ago.
Thankfully, I took a good amount of notes.
Yeah, man. I surely did.
We are all members of the Gorm. I have forgotten to give out exactly what that was in my notes, but we
Guild of
are
registered mercenaries.
there. We go. We
It is
are
if you want to go out and do work, you work for Gorm, because standing armies don't really exist anymore because of fear of massive continent spanning wars. There are obviously guards and small little militaries, but like massive armies don't exist. Everything that happens is done through this sort of centralized but somewhat scattered, they're all connected but sort of loosely connected guild organization that allows both the common folk and the small sort of regions to hire mercenaries to take care of monsters and conflicts, etc., without things ideally like sprawling over into massive, godfall-ish, everyone's gonna die, including the gods, style warfare. That's the big fear that even today, after nearly 400 years, people are still afraid of. So, continue, sir.
all right. So
Lord
we are all four of us are members of Gorm for various reasons. We had picked up a quest essentially to investigate creatures emerging from the Allerway Thicket, which is to the north of our current area in Numush. We see a large black elk come out of they come from the north essentially, that it's being attacked. A woman attempts to dissuade us from attacking it. Combat ensues. We defeat it. We find out that in actuality it's some kind of weird fleshy undead construct. It's a little vague currently.
I like that description. Weird, fleshy, undead construct. It's on my. Never mind. Finish that sentence.
um, we it turns out that the elk was part of an experiment of some sort because it had been dead and then it was reanimated and then we had thought it was alive when we first saw it, but that's a little bit different. The town of Numush has been under attack for about 2 months prior to the start of the campaign,
Mhm.
and essentially we transported the elk body, destroyed it in a cave out in a small cave system, went to a different cave system, rested, and basically planned to make our way to Numush the next morning, and that's where we
Beautiful.
left off.
So you met the two companions that you have at this point, which are both from the village that you were heading off to, the village of Numush. And what I'll do is I get you guys over onto that map, which you should be on currently. You should be on that currently. So you guys are roughly a half a day, give or take, half day travel. You decided not to travel at night because based on what Sophia had told you, this is when things are a little bit more dangerous. Some of these creatures, monsters, and whatnot will come out. Now, if you recall, there is this constant sort of overcast, grayish, sort of swirling cloud that seems to sort of center itself near-ish to where the village is, and it spans, tens of miles out from this village, and it's a slow, almost hurricane-ish kind of slow swirling gray and dark-colored mist, and this constant not a deluge. It's not coming down in sheets, but there is this constant sort of straight down kind of drizzle. Very quickly, when you get out to the wilds, as it were, outside of the cave, when that happens, your gear gets soaked. The ground is muddy, difficult to travel, and things are just generally unpleasant. It's not nice out, as it were. So we're going to open our first scene here in the same cave system that we had found ourselves in at the end of last session. And what you guys are going to see, we're going to do sight, sound, hear, all that good stuff. So as we wake up in the morning, the first of you to arise is actually going to be Rune Frostwind. And Rune, there's something that awakens you. You've been having this dream, a very deep sort of sleep, despite the chaos and the excitement of the day prior. You did manage to find yourself into a very rather deep slumber, and as you were sleeping, you saw yourself walking down this path towards. You think it was maybe like the docks or maybe a merchant district, something like that, but you're walking down this path and you can hear this sort of murmur of, oh, there's something for sale over here. It's a very much a city sort of scene, and you can smell in this dream, you can smell this sort of musty, I've been in the rain too long, so it may be reality mixing with your dream, but as you are walking, in the distance, you see this figure. Female, feminine figure. She's walking towards you. There is a familiarity to this figure. Like you know this person. Like you've seen them before, but you cannot quite make out their face. But it's something about the way that they are moving. Something about the way that the light from the candles on these street lamps sort of hit her and sort of accentuate the curves, the way that she is almost gliding towards you. And as you are watching, you see this from your own two eyes, and you feel yourself sort of pull back, and you see yourself in this sort of top-down, out-of-body experience. You see yourself moving towards her, and before the two of you meet, you awaken. And as you awaken, you smell this sort of crispy, savory kind of meat that you can smell. And as you look over, you see that the ranger, the woman, Serena, she has a little spick, cast iron little spick. She's turning it, and there's this golden brown, sort of getting crusty, a little bit of brown and some black on it, this hunk of just meat. It could be boar, it could be elk, it could be something, we're not sure, but she's slowly turning it. She's got a little bit of salt, and she just, sprinkles a little salt bays it, as it were, a little salt bay on it, and she's turning it slightly, and She looks over and just gives you a sort of curt nod. And she asks, "What was her name? You mumbled something in your sleep. I couldn't make it out, but it was as if you were calling for someone. You kept saying you had to reach her. No one else heard. It was only me. I've been awake for about an hour, but for the last 15 minutes you've been talking."
I'm looking around the cave, minute, just rubbing my eyes for a minute, and I'm like, what? I was doing what?
You were talking in your sleep, Rune. As though you were calling out for someone. I heard you say, "I have to find her." But you never said a name. And as your hand lifted up, well, you awoke. And I simply am curious as to who is she?
Sar. This is not the first time I've had this kind of dream, but there's not anyone in particular that comes to mind.
As you say that, Rune, the next of you to wake up is going to be Conrad. Conrad, you were not having a dream. It was a dreamless night, and you awaken to the same smell of roasting meat. It's filling the cabin. It's a savory, sort of hearty sort of, smell, and the warmth of the fire. You were relatively close. It was a cold, chilly night with the rain. The temperature hasn't gotten up with the overcast, etc. But that fire is warm, and you can feel it on your bedroll. You maybe were under the covers or whatever you have you, but you nice and toasty and warm at this point, right? And as you awaken, you see her slowly turning it. You hear a portion of this conversation to give you an opportunity to sort of jump into this scene. But she says, "So you are dreaming, Rune, about a woman you don't know."
Not one that I can recall. It's hard to explain, really. It's like I'm in the same city, the dock city. I can't recall where I've seen this place before.
A dock city?
Yes.
Somewhere on the coast? Have you been to one of the coastal towns, or?
We've been traveling. I mean, we've been traveling for years. I've been traveling at least for years. So it doesn't really stand out exactly where, but the woman in question, how do I explain this? She's figureless, to say the least. While I can
Dreaming
see
of a figureless woman by docks you've never been to.
I don't know how to explain it. I have to say, I think the rain has just exhausted me. Truly.
She looks over, notices that Conrad is awake. She sort of looks down. Are you two dreaming of shapeless women?
No, I can't really say I am. Not tonight.
I see. Well, then at least only one of you is crazy. I can deal with one crazy, but two crazies is just too much. And she offers a somewhat playful little smile at that. And with this, I think, Claire's a little bit, yes, I think the little kitty cat, I was just about to jump to Brian. I think the kitty cat should also awaken as well to both the same smells and the warmth of that fire as well as you awaken. She offers a smile to Kirk. And I will also have Sinjal. Sinjal? I say it right? Yes. Oh, wow. It's been 2 months and I didn't fuck it up. Oh, Wolfie, I'm on point today. That's beautiful. I love that journey for us. So she nods and give you guys a little bit of time to interact with one another, talk, sort of defrag from the events of last time, and also just, candidly speaking, kind of get back into character a little bit here. But no one else had any strange dreams other than Rune Frostwind Ren this evening. But the woman quickly starts cutting off pieces of meat. She has a couple of small sort of pewter plates that she places them on. No bigger really than the palm of her hand, just something to place it on. She starts passing out a meal, and it is spiced with salt and a red sort of spice that you believe might be paprika. And it's not the most delicious thing that you've ever tasted, probably, but it's delicious for cave food. So everything
Better
is
than
relative,
hard
right?
fat.
Everything is relative. It's warm
Yeah.
and it's freshly cooked, so it's not bad. And she starts handing everything out, giving you all a chance, and then she goes over and she sits down next to Tomas, which, if you recall, he got pretty messed up. He got pretty messed up last session.
Yeah.
So she
I think he's
goes-
got what, a broken rib?
broken rib,
Mhm.
and he was a little messed up. So she kneels down, checks his bandages, starts looking him over, and I want to give you guys a chance to sort of eat, talk with one another, and figure out really where you guys want to go from here. Now, the plan was last session you would rest in this cave system, and then you would travel, continuing eastward towards the town, towards the village. But take a moment, and let's have you guys just talk to each other and see what you guys talk about. Go ahead.
So I'm, of course, still trying to stir awake because essentially this was a restless night for me if I've had this strange dream.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll take the plate, excuse me, and just eat on it. And while eating there, I'm just kind of contemplating exactly what she said to me. But on that, I'll change the subject and I'll say, excuse me, about how far do we have to the village?
That is a phenomenal question that someone should make a check for. Either knowledge of geography or survival. Either way will work. Your calls on what you want to do.
Sorry, which or which?
Knowledge,
Again?
geography, or survival. It's your call which one you want to use.
I'll do survival.
I'm untrained in both.
Do survival.
Yeah, survival.
Nope.
You know that a village exists somewhere.
Oh my god!
Which is good. You know a village does exist somewhere in the region. We're not
In
sure.
this
You're
world.
pretty sure. In this world. Somewhere in the region. Which is fantastic. Love that. Conrad, you know that based on the map you have that was provided by the worm, the village is likely, like I said, about a half day to a day, depending on how quickly you're able to travel. Due to the rain, it's likely going to be a little bit more on that day sort of side of things, just because of, you're running through mud, muck, the roads are going to be partially washed out. It's just a terrible time, right? Everything's just rainy and nasty and ugly, and we hate to see it. But roughly a day, you would say, and that's, I would say, a day and a full day of travel is like 8 hours, give or take, if you just hoof it straight through.
So, between bites of my food, after looking at the map where we roughly are and where the village is, I mean, you're looking at least a day, right? I don't really want to get caught out in that nasty storm all too much more than anyone else, but it's going to take us some time to get there, and unfortunately, we're going to have to tough it up and get going on the road here soon.
Yeah.
It's not our...
Poor Sinjal is just like, I have a map. I can't read it anymore, but I have a map.
Conrad's over there, like, showing him shapes on a piece of paper saying that's his map.
I don't mean to be the bearer of bad news, but I'm only gonna just slow you all down. Sonia, you should take the rest of them. Take them to the village, and I'll simply catch up. And she looks at him like, no. Like, I'll carry you if I have to. They have a horse. We can put you on the horses, right?
Yeah.
We'll get you there. And he's like, oh, no, oh, God, it hurts. Oh, it hurts so bad. Oh, breathing, talking, existing, it hurts.
Yeah,
and
you're going on the horse.
she's
Yeah.
she's got his shirt up, and you can see that his entire left side is just black and blue and purples, just nasty. He's probably got some internal bleeding.
Ooh.
And he's obviously in pain. He's already missing one eye, and now he's, got a broken rib. So you should probably just put him down. I mean, really.
Probably missing a lung.
Maybe. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But he's not doing
I would have Sinjal would definitely just be like, in your state, you are best not left by yourself. Worst case
Besides,
scenario,
we have a horse.
yeah, we have a horse, and Depending on how things go, you can either be actually riding it, or we can try to make a litter that will drag you and keep you a little bit more stable.
The woman, Serena, she perks up at the mention of that, something to drag, and she says, "Actually, that's actually a very good idea. Sinjo, we should gather some materials. We could put together a some sort of not cart, but a gurney of some sort, and he could lay and rest, and we could drag him along. I'm afraid that if he rides on horseback, it will only exacerbate his injury.
Mm-hmm.
I can gather some supplies. If either of you or any of you want to come with me,
I'll
would like to go
stand
with
up and say, yeah, I'll come along.
Very good. Are you any good with woodworking? Do you have a hatchet? An axe?
Yeah, did I take an axe?
So it's just
I
like, what
think-
equipment did we bring?
Yeah, what equipment?
Yeah,
did-
that's the thing, right?
Well, hey man, I'm not too much of a stickler, so if you just want to be like, yes, I'm fine with that.
Yes, I'm fine with that.
All right, there you go. I like that. Well stated. So you've got a little hatchet, you've got your little travel gear and supplies. So she nods, and Rune and Serena are looking like they're about to head out. Does anyone else want to come with them as well?
I'll go with them. I already
Sinjal
have-
will stay back and
I'll say I'm going to try and tend to the injured
Tomas?
when I can.
I like that. Okay. So
yeah,
we'll
I was
have
actually
Rune-
going to say the same thing.
That's beautiful. So the two of you can tend to him, and then we'll have Rune and Kirk and Serena head out into the wilderness for a little bit. Surely nothing bad will befall them. Surely.
Sure.
Surely.
Surely. Probably not. Maybe we'll see.
Nothing's
So-
going to happen, and don't call me Shirley.
Okay, quit calling me Shirley. That's funny. All right. So the three of you head out into the nasty sort of weather. And if you recall, you guys had headed off into this kind of like cave system where there was a little bit of like a hilly sort of rocky area. You had traveled through this somewhat sort of hidden like little like valley, little cut that went into the side of it, and you had found this cave system where there were multiple caves that looked like some sort of large creature had like bored through and created these sort of cave systems. Now luckily nothing came through at night and ate you. I know you might have thought that since we hadn't played in 2 months. You're like, oh, we must be dead, but you're alive, which is fantastic. We love to see it. It's good. So the three of you head off out into it, and as I mentioned, that sort of steady deluge of water is coming down, and it's just falling, and everything is wet and nasty and uncomfortable, but you're making a go of it. You've got a little bit of a ways to travel as you head out. Now, to the north is the Allerway Thicket, but there are a number of trees and areas around, so you're looking for some larger sticks and branches, but you're also looking for some thick grass and things like that, so you can create this sort of gurney, something to drag him along behind the horse and hook everything up. So you begin this journey investigation. I'm going to have you guys make a couple of checks here. I'm looking for survival checks, or I'm looking simply for spot checks, perception checks. Excuse me, I'm playing too much 3.5. Good old D&D.
Yeah.
15, not bad. Very, very good.
Which one do you want first?
Either one. Make the checks. Whichever one. You choose one, and that's the one you'll roll. Beautiful.
Hey.
Very, very, very good. Beautiful. So you guys travel out through this muddy, mucky sort of little cut into the hill. Travel out. You head east for a little bit, curve up the hill, kind of climb up. You do a quick survey, and you see that there's a small patch of trees, maybe about 1/10 of a mile away, that's sort of sticking out from the Allerway Thicket itself, and you start to make your way down. The traveling is relatively quiet. Serena seems very focused. She has her hood up. She has a cowl up. She does have her bow in her hand at all times. The arrow quivers at her side, and she seems very ready. Eyes constantly scanning left and right, looking around. She looks behind, and she's always in this sort of huntress type of mode, right? As you're moving closer and closer and closer to this area, the rain starts to surprisingly let up a little bit, It's very hazy and very misty because of this constant deluge. You can never really see too far ahead, and things in the distance always have this sort of shadowy, misty sort of look to them. Not dissimilar, Rune, to the dream you had about this sort of shapely, but very, misty and sort of, you can't see her, obscured sort of woman. So there's a similarity between your dream and what you're seeing in reality. As you guys are getting closer, I need everyone to make perception checks again, please.
Ooh, that's good.
12, Perk. You are the one that notices it. There is a campfire smell in the air. Like a fire that's been burning for a long time, but it's been rained on. So it's that like wet campfire smell, which I'm sure you've experienced before, right? So there's this wet campfire smell, and as you are moving closer to this area of trees that starts to jut and starts to butt up next to the Allerway Thicket, you see that there is a large tree that has fallen. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to move you over to a different map so you guys can actually see what I'm referencing. So take a moment to familiarize yourself with the map. And what you see is there is indeed a small ring of stones that has been set up in this kind of clearing next to this large tree. No one around that you can see, though. You just see the fire, but the coals, the embers of this fire, are, even despite the rain, still slightly glowing. As the rain comes down, you can see this soft, sort of white smoke rising up from that fire. So it's still burning, and you can see that there's no gear, no packs, nothing around. From where you guys are currently standing, you cannot make out any tracks, which even if there were tracks, they likely would have been washed out by this constant deluge of rain. But again, the rain has slightly diminished at this point. You can see the trees in the distance. You can see this large fallen tree, which will likely have the branches and whatnot that you need. There's obviously some sort of campsite here, but no one that you can see readily at this point.
Kirk will tap both Rune and Serena on the knee and be like, "It appears someone left in a hurry. We should investigate, but we should be cautious."
I see it too. There's campfire. Don't see any tracks, no one along the tree line, but that fire was just left, likely within the last 10, 15 minutes. If they've gone, they're not far. She bites her lower lip, eyes scanning the tree line. She looks left to Rune, right to Kirk.
Hang back, you two. I'll investigate.
She nods. She moves left, sort of dipping beneath this tree. As she does so, she shoulders her bow, and then sort of just hops, grabbing onto a branch, pulls herself up one branch. She's about 10 feet in the air now. She then draws her bow again, and then just watches as Kirk makes her way in. What's Rune doing in this moment?
He's going to pull his blade and shield out, be at the ready. He's going to be just staying close between this area right here.
Kirk drops to all fours to stay as close to the ground as possible, and then just sort of like prowls forward, bow shouldered. Makes his way to the fire and starts to like poke around, see if there's anything
Give me another perception check.
of note.
Now that you're next to the fire, 22, beautiful. So you notice a couple of things. There are some tracks. There is a flat, indented portion next and near to the fire. Looks like someone may have had a bedroll or some sort of pack, some sort of like sleeping arrangements next to the fire for a while. And you see that there are tracks. Now with that 22, I'm going to offer you a knowledge and local check if you have it to see if you can identify the tracks as well.
I don't. I mean, I'm proficient, but I didn't at any point think.
Okay, no worries. If you want to make a general untrained one, it's a little bit of a higher DC, but I'm fine with that.
Sure.
See if you can identify the tracks. 13, perfect, beautiful. I was looking for a DC 10, would have been a DC 5 otherwise. So with that check, medium humanoid, and the deepness and the imprint of it, they were barefoot, and the spacing of the tracks, you think it might have been a half-orc, or maybe even a full orc, just based on the size, the width of this track. And you know, based on your knowledge of this region, there are these sort of shamanistic tribes of orcs that live in the region. Now, one of the things about the Roaring Shores, a little bit of a lore dump, is orcs are not necessarily evil like they are in a lot of other Pathfinder settings. They're these matriarchal shaman sort of like tribal societies, and there are some that do make their home in the Allerway Thicket. So it's not an uncommon sight. What maybe stands out to you, though, is that they generally don't travel this far south, and if they do travel, they travel in groups. You see one set of tracks, one set, and you don't see any indication of anyone else, just one person.
And it looks like they left barefoot, like they weren't wearing boots, they left
Correct.
barefoot. Which direction did they go?
North, towards the forest.
Okay. So satisfied.
So if I may, as you look potentially north following those tracks, you look into the tree line. And with that 22, I am going to give this to you, because that was an absolutely fantastic check. You see someone. It is a humanoid face, tusks, slightly pointed ears, red markings like war paint on the forehead, a black beard with black hair, dreadlocks behind it, and you see this man right here standing at the tree line. He is not dissimilarly to you, crouched low. Right? He is crouched low, and his eyes are glowing sort of as though he has this, almost like there's like lights that are just in front of his actual eyes that are glowing slightly, and he's just watching you with very, very intense curiosity. His expression does not seem hostile at first, but he is definitely watching you specifically.
Kirk pulls a little bit of the dry, like wood that he's got tucked in his pack out, and sort of uses it to poke the embers back to enough life that there's a little bit of flame, then sort of settles back on his haunches, and so that there's a little bit of fire, and warms himself a little, and then looks directly at the man and says, "You'd be more comfortable near the fire."
The man tilts his head slightly to the side, draws in this sort of deep breath. You can see some of the vapors of like the mist and some of the rain. He draws in. You can see him kind of like pull in almost a little bit of like fog, right, like into his mouth. And then as he lets it out, there's that sort of hot breath, steam, as the internal temperature of his breath meets with that sort of cold, wet, rainy air. And he inches forward. He's very similar to you, Kirk. He's like kind of on all fours, but he's crouched down and he's sort of crawling forward, and he sniffs the air. You do not smell. You do not smell like you are of the forest. You do not smell that you are of those who make their home in the village east. You are foreign. You are not from here. Why? Why do you walk these lands, cursed as they are?
I'm here to investigate a threat to the village.
His head, almost bird-like, like twitches left, twitches right. His eyes still, this red sort of orbs in front of them, flare slightly for a moment. And what purpose have you? To investigate here? To help? To hinder? Or to make worse the curse?
It depends what we find, but largely to help the village.
The village often takes robbing, killing. Perhaps it is not so bad. Perhaps it is nature's way of taking back what has been taken. Have you,
Perhaps.
foreigner, considered this?
Then the help I offer the village may be to move it elsewhere.
What are you? You are smaller than those of your kind I have seen.
Which is one of the reasons why I am perhaps better suited for investigating a cursed land, as I am cursed myself.
That is the stench I smell upon you, then. What or who cursed you?
It was a swamp witch, as I understand it.
He lets out a scoff. Huh. Witches. They are those who have taken the gift and corrupted it. For what it is worth, I do hope you find a solution to your curse. His eyes narrow slightly as he watches. He looks back. Rune, you are standing back a ways, right? And
Right.
you're seeing this interaction. You can see him. Serena's up in the tree, and you heard her just knock an arrow. There was that slight clattering as the arrow shaft hit the bow itself, and then just that slight creaking noise as she drew back ever so slightly, not enough to really put a draw on it, but just enough to be like prepped. And she looks down in your direction should you look back at her, and her expression is just simply with her eyes, because she has her cowl up, her eyes say, I'm ready if things go south. But she's not drawing a bead on the guy or anything. What are you doing at this point, Rune?
So, watching the interaction, I know based on how they're speaking, I don't anticipate him as a threat. So I will sheathe my bastard sword, but I'm still going to keep my tower shield on hand. I look up to Serena and I put up a fist like this for a moment,
Hold.
just
Yeah.
to be like, just to hold.
Let's hold. She nods to you and lets that pass, and we go back over to Kirk and this half orc that is here, or full orc. You're not sure at this point. He picks up. He kind of reaches down and he pulls like a little bit of grass, a couple of blades, and he sort of twists them between his fingers, his middle and his index finger and his thumb, and he just sort of twists them a little bit. And as he does so, he lets them fall, and as they fall, they sort of waft down in front of him, and he seems to watch them with this really great curiosity. I will offer you this, little one. Should you truly wish to help, know that it will likely end in your death. This place is corrupted. This place is likely beyond saving. Good luck. With that, he rises up, and he's a tall guy. He's probably like 7 feet tall. It was a little hard to tell based on him being sort of crouched forward, but he's a really tall guy. You see just like all of these tribal tattoos. He's wearing furs. He is indeed barefoot. And he offers a final glance at you. His eyes flare red and then they dissipate. And you see he has these honestly kind of soft, almost kind-looking blue eyes as he looks at you. And he just looks at you for a moment, offering you a chance to respond should you take it. And should you not, he simply turns and walks away.
And good luck in your travels.
He nods, turns, and strolls into the woods, disappearing into the mist and the sort of fog. And as that happens, the rain picks up ever so slightly and starts to fall a little bit harder. The fire that you had sort of stoked up a little bit starts to hiss as the rain hits it, allowing everyone else. Serena quickly gets out of the tree, makes her way over, and gets close to Kirk as she watches this orc disappear into the forest. She looks down and she says, "That could have gone a lot worse."
Well, I'm accustomed to people predicting my death. I take great pleasure in disappointing every one of them.
You often have people predict your death?
You know, it's a surprising hazard of my line of work.
So the man with the shield dreams of ethereal women, and you constantly get prophecies of your own demise.
Well, I mean, they
When
may
you
more
put it that
often be
way.
they may more often be threats, but
So the man threatened you?
oh no, he predicted my death.
Right.
More that if I stayed on this course, the land was too dark to save.
Orcs. She shakes her head, pulls a hatchet from her pack, shoulders her bow, and heads over and starts hacking at the tree to start to gather some of the materials you need. And then you guys are able to do that. We're gonna pivot back over to the cave system, where Conrad and everyone else are derping, as it were. And give me 1 second to get you guys over there. Perfect. All right, so let's move Rune. He's not here. Horse is there. Perfect. So let's take a moment. And Conrad, you were going to be checking on Thomas, right? You're going to be checking
Correct.
on Thomas. And we've also got Sinjal. Said it right. I'm super impressed. I'm not gonna lie, Ben, that I actually got it right. I'm terrible with names, but I actually pronounced it right, which is for fun. So yay! Look at me. All right. So give me a heal check, my dude. Conrad, give me a heal check and see.
I'd like to offer him the aid action
Yeah, absolutely, man.
because I am also trained in heal.
Perfect. DC 10 for you. I'll give him a +2 on his check. You roll first, Sinjal.
Oh, well, shit.
He can roll after, and you'll get a +2. But that was a fucking. It's gonna be a 28. That's pretty
Yeah.
Beautiful. 30. That's phenomenal. So you are obviously trained in combat, field medicine, etc. I mean, you are a war priest. You're used to seeing wounds and injuries, etc. So you look at this, and very, very quickly you realize that yes, he has a collapsed lung. Yes, he has 2 broken ribs, and he is going to need some sort of magical healing at some point. The good news is that you're able to bandage with your minimal healing supplies that you have. You're able to give him sort of a poultice that you place over it to reduce the swelling, which is also going to help, make it so that he doesn't injure himself even more. And you are able to likely save him from dying on the journey. All right, so
Bloodletting.
yeah, you're doing a good job, man. That's good. So he's grateful. He's nodding. He groans and grumbles every so often. But as you are working on him, his one good eye, he was watching you. He's watching Sinjal, and then he focuses on Conrad. And if I remember correctly, you're wearing sort of more of a resplendent kind of armor. I mean, you look like a holy warrior, as it were.
Yep.
And he gets this curious expression. His eye patch. He still has his eyebrows. They kind of furrow a little bit, and it's not anger. It's not distrust. It's not pain even at this point. It's just curiosity. And he says, What caused you to take up the priesthood, Conrad?
Well,
The reason I ask, if I may, is simply, you might not believe it, but I was actually going to be a cleric at one point. Things happened, and I went, I dropped out, and I still hold, a deep, what's it like?
what's it like being a priest?
Yeah.
A war priest?
Pretty great, no?
It is. It truly is great. Has its own set of challenges that you'll go through. I mean, the reason I got into it really is my mother was, she was medically inclined, and I grew up watching her and idolizing her, and between the mix of my father being, what I as a child I saw as a great warrior, and my mother being this unstoppable healer, to 7-year-old me was insane, and I thought, what better way to do that than be a priest, be a war priest for that matter. You look up to your parents and you revere them as much as I did. You're bound to follow in their footsteps one way or another.
That's right. And remind me again, lad. What god was it that you worshipped again? The DM says, knowing that he probably forgot.
You fucker. I had it written down too.
Take your time, brother.
Oh fuck. Me, you motherfucker. You motherfucker. Hold on. I know exactly where I wrote it down. I just gotta open it up now. Fuck you. Let's open Conrad's Hero Lab page real quick.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm literally the worst.
You are literally the worst. Friendry.
Yep.
You fucker.
He nods and he gets a small smile on his face, and his brow unfurrows and his expression softens. Now it could be because you've just finished applying this poultice. It could be that you've eased some of his pain, or it could just simply be because of the god that you mentioned, Fendran. Believe me or don't, but Fendran was who I wanted to follow. He was mortal. He ascended to godhood after so many of the gods died. We all have heard the stories of what happened, but sometimes I wonder if, well, how many of us were really alive when it happened? So few.
So very few.
Maybe you're run-of-the-mill elf. Fucking elves. He chuckles to that. There's so much to be said with so few gods remaining. For those of us that, well, take up the mantle to spread the word. Do you think what's happening here is a punishment for our transgressions against, simply for our transgressions?
Hard to say. It's really not my place to cast judgment for a situation that I know so little about.
Since I, years ago, stopped following my path to the priesthood, looks down at his black and blue side and back up to you. My luck's been god fucking awful, man. Just terrible. It might be a lot to ask, but when things settle down, should we figure out what's happening? Could you teach me a bit more about Fentron?
So yeah, Conrad's gonna place his hand on his shoulder, not too hard because he is injured.
He literally
and
dies.
tell him
You put it too hard and it pierces his lung.
I touched him. It was
dying for you.
Well,
Gasping
if that
for air
killed,
that he can never get.
if that killed him, he was already dying anyways from the internal bleeding.
Yikes.
I'm gonna lay my hand on his shoulder, and I'm gonna tell him, once this is all done, of course I will spread the word, and I will, at the very end of it, I'll just chime in with a little comment and tell him it's not too late to go back.
That gets a hopeful smile on his face. Whatever, magical morphine you gave him is definitely kicking in, because he's starting to look real happy. He's feeling good, man. He's feeling really good. Finjal, you have been helping, watching, listening to his conversation, and give me a perception check, my man.
Oh boy.
He says, "Oh boy."
Yeah. Well, okay, if this is another nat one, that would just be, well. Oh, okay. Yeah. Much better. Much better.
Oh, that is beautiful. You hear something. It is the shuffling of rocks like they were kicked. There is a very unique sound when you kick rocks in a cave. It echoes ever so slightly. You hear it like maybe one or two pebbles got kicked. And as you look to this cave entrance right here, I don't know if you can see this, I'm going to ping you guys there, this cave entrance. You see what you think is a shadowy figure slip back into the cave as though it was creeping up, notices you noticing it, and then slips back into the cave. With that 25, It looked like a humanoid face, but there was a large body behind it. Humanoid face, but a large body behind it and you noticed too many legs coming off of it. The horse starts to get uncomfortable.
Okay.
Winnie?
So he saw me. They saw me. I saw them. They saw that I saw them. I saw that they saw me.
Correct. That's correct. Exactly. Yes. You saw them seeing you, seeing them seeing you.
Honestly, I've always
I'm
wanted to
having
do
so
something
much
like
fun.
that
Thank you
before.
for playing, guys. This is great.
I will let me see. What do I have on me again?
You have anti-monster potions?
um okay, so I'm wearing studded leather armor.
Mhm.
So in while it is technically inaccurate, I would I would use like one of the studs that are most likely metal or maybe bone or something like that. I kind of like chime it on Conrad's armor, still keeping my eyes pinned towards where I saw the figure, and I start and after that kind of ping on Conrad's armor, I start searching my bag for my ever burning torch, and I'm just like, we've got company, and I don't know if it's friendly.
You say that out loud?
Lowly, yes.
Lowly, yeah. A voice, feminine, alluring even, calls out from that cave where you saw this figure. Friendly? This one could be friendly. Friendly to those that walk on two legs. Two legs, not enough legs. More legs on this one. These ones have come into this one's cave. Where this one lives, where this one hunts, where this one makes her nest, spins her web. Why have these ones come? Why have these ones come into this one's cave? And as that is said, a figure emerges from that darkness down that cave, illuminated by the flickering fire, the smell of that cooked meat still hanging in the air, and you see this.
Well, it's not a drider, but
It
it's
is a
close enough, I
humanoid
guess.
face, female, pretty, or being connected to a spider body. Her fangs are almost vampiric in nature, her red hair hanging down, and her expression is relatively neutral. Her eyes are a very bright shade of green, and they seem to glow ever so slightly, and they flicker from you to Thomas, and then settle on the horse, who is still tied to a stalactite and is
Not my horse.
is feeling a little. He seems a little uncomfortable. The horse is like doing that horse thing where it's like flip-flopping and like it's tugging ever so slightly on its reins.
Well,
like,
to be fair,
yeah,
if it's tied to a stalactite, it'd be more than likely rather simple to pull it off. So
He meant stalagmite.
that's what I meant, stalagmite. Yeah, the one that comes
the
up
one,
from the ground.
whichever one it's tied to,
Yeah.
to the stalag,
So the stalag.
To the pointy rock.
it's probably simple-ish for the horse to attempt to pull it off if it actually tried. So, Sinjal will just say, kind of like a side glance to the other two, and glance over to the horse, just checking on it. He would say, I'm sorry for the intrusion. We were taking shelter from the storm, um, and had planned to be gone very soon. Actually, as soon as our companions return with a way to help our injured friend here travel without pain.
Her spider legs, they move very slowly, methodically, like one on the wall.
Mhm.
One wraps around to the left, and she pulls herself 5 feet forward, half sticking out of this side passage, half sticking forward. Her eyes still fixed on that horse, who is now at the point starting to be like, Winnie, 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 clip clop, Winnie, clip clop. He's not happy, and she's got hungry eyes. All right.
Okay.
You know, you've heard the song "Hungry Eyes." It's
I thought it was Hazel Eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you know, same difference, right? Hungry eyes.
Hungry eyes
But she is
are
looking
watching
at that
you.
horse, and she speaks once again, that luring, sort of quiet kind of voice. And she says, "This one rained for so long, wet and moist, nothing to hunt, few, so hungry." And as she says that, one of her spider legs sort of ever so slowly inches forward as though she's about to take another step forward. Then she stops, her head snaps over looking at the three of you, and then fixates on Sinjal. She looks at you, those green eyes fixated on you.
Sinjal would kind of step away from the others, moving slowly, like she is as well, to kind of not be too far from the horse in case she does try to go there, just to at least be a bit of interference between the horse and her. If possible, no, that really wouldn't work. So she said that because it's been raining so hard, essentially, that she's been unable to truly hunt, right?
Correct. That is the impression she's given. It, she, I don't know.
I'm calling it
The
she
horrible
because
aberration.
I'm calling it she because feminine voice, feminine head. We're gonna go off that unless all of a sudden she's just
Did
like,
you just
my name is
assume- did you
Joe.
just
God, it's
Super aberration.
2024. What the fuck?
Look, if all of a sudden this creature tells me my name is Ball or something.
Yes, my name is George. It's the most generic human name in a deep voice. She never says anything deep, but when she says her name, she's like, "Yep, my name. Yes, my name is George. How are you doing today?" George feels really good. She's a little hungry. They are a little hungry. I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah. So the spider creature that is that I don't know if it's a knockoff Drider or if a Drider is a knockoff of that one. He's just like, is there anything that we could maybe assist with? As you said that you'd been apparently making your nest here, and
Eyes go
yeah, you
from
heard.
Thomas to Sinjal to the horse.
Mhm.
Back to Sinjal. This one is hungry. Her eyes drift back to the horse, then drift past Sinjal over to Thomas. Thomas has this expression of "Please don't feed me to the monster." Oh God!
My hand is still on his shoulder.
He's like, and he's gonna say that loud. He's gonna whisper. He's like, "Please don't feed me to it." Oh God! Please don't feed me.
And Sinjal will say, if you are willing to be a bit patient a bit longer, well, after our companions return, we could attempt to hunt something for you if you wish. Unfortunately, our horse over here and all of us are preferably not on your menu.
Not for eating.
Sorry.
With her looking at Thomas, I am going to 5 foot in front of him.
I like that.
Just like
You're good.
put myself in front of him.
Yeah, just like block her vision of the injured man who looks delicious. That's
Yeah.
good. That's probably a good thing. Okay, so she is still looking at Sinjal. Sinjal, give me a diplomacy check. If anyone wants to assist,
I'll assist.
you know what? Thomas he has a +2 to diplomacy. He's gonna try to help, and all he says is, "I'm really gamey. Don't eat me, please."
Can I still try to assist, or?
Yeah, absolutely. You can assist. Yep, you can have many assists.
Got-
Beautiful, Conrad. That's 21. It's beautiful. Sinjal, go ahead and give me a diplomacy check, baby bird.
Why couldn't you have been talking, Conrad?
You.
I got a -1.
Oh,
This is all you.
real bad.
This is all you.
I need a nat 20, please. I need a nat 20.
Maybe. I don't know. The RP's been good. I'll give you a circumstantial bonus.
Let's go. Roll it, buddy.
Got this, baby bird.
You tweeting? 16. See, that's great. That's
Oh.
good. That's an
Oh.
18. Like, that's
Oh.
fantastic.
Oh.
Oh, man, the dice
Oh.
gods don't fucking hate you.
Oh.
Praise
I will
RNGesus.
Oh.
Praise
Alright,
RNGesus.
Time
Jesus,
out.
thank you.
Time
Thank
out
you,
for
Lord
1
Jesus.
second. Let it be known. Not single nat 20 yet after the 6th of session 1.
Yeah.
You guys burned him out, man. I'm just saying. Like, it is what it is. It's good. So the creature actually, that hungry look, it seems to soften slightly, and there's an element of humanity in this monster's face. And she flicks from Conrad to Sinjal to the horse to Conrad, Sinjal, and settles once more on Sinjal as you have made this plea. Hey, we'll go hunt for you. We'll bring some food. And you realize as you are looking at her that despite this large appearance, likely somewhat intimidating appearance, she looks sickly. Like, she looks weak. And you're not sure what this creature is, but I mean, just logically speaking, she could probably take you, but she is likely in a very weakened state. There is this hesitation that you've heard in her voice, just the way that she's been moving, like just inching forward ever so slightly. This one will trust you. This one's life is in your hands.
Quick question. The food that Serena had been making, is there any of that left?
Lunch? Yeah. There's a huge, like, flank of meat, like a haunch or something. Yeah, absolutely.
We've
Something. tied
all
the
eaten at
spider
this
lady
point.
over? Yeah, we've all eaten. And there's still some
Yeah.
left over.
So, Sinjal will actually go over to the stuff on the fire, and he will pull it off carefully, and he'll be like, this will at least tide you over until our companions return, so that we can make a better effort at it, attempting to.
So you're gonna offer her what's left over of the meat. That would have given you another +5. So you're in a great spot. That's fantastic. So you take the meat, you offer it to her.
And as he does, he's just like, you may call me Sinjal. May I know your name? He's probably over here now, so.
Yeah, she's gonna step forward. One of her spider legs kind of reaches out, like pierces the meat, brings it to her mouth. She starts to like eat it like a spider, like spinning web, but like spinning it, just nom 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 nom. Very spider-
Basically, us eating corn on the cob.
Correct. It's you guys eating corner pie, but she's eating meat. She'll back off from there, and she hungrily eats it. But the little bit of color returns to her face, and she seems very quickly after consuming this meat. She seems more conscious and alert, a little less hungry-eyed, with her green, slightly illuminated eyes, as though she can see in the dark. And she takes your name, Sinjal. And with that, she does not answer you. She simply turns, and then as she exits the cave, should you hunt for this one, bring back what you find and leave it in the cave. This one is glad she did not have to eat you. And you hear the clitter-clatter of spider legs moving down the cavern with that. Well, that was cool. As
So
if
with-
on cue, returning back to the cave. Oh, hey, it's Rune and Serena. They've got sticks. That's good.
As they're walking in, can I like look at my holy text and see if there's anything about that thing in there or
Do you
things
have
like it?
knowledge arcana? Or
No.
knowledge nature?
I only have religion.
You could look in your texts.
I've got knowledge nature.
Do it.
I'm gonna
Or
look at Sinjal and be like,
Dungeoneering would work.
what
Any
the-
of those would work. Knowledge arcana.
Conrad leans into Sinjal. What the fuck was that?
Good question. Give me a second as I calm my heart and
Yes.
and try to get some blood flowing to my brain directly.
You guys are going to enter into this scene. Rune, Catman, Kirk, and Serena are going to enter into this scene, and you're going to see the three of them staring at this like this little side passage, and just looking like ghosts, maybe a little bit white. I don't know. Like you guys, it's pretty scary, right?
Yeah,
the meat's gone.
Conrad's
Serena's going to be
scared.
the first one to say it. She's going to be like, "What the hell happened to all my meat? That was going to be for the journey. Did you seriously?"
I
eat
sacrificed
everything?"
it so that we weren't eaten.
Giant spider lady
What?
ate the meat instead of Thomas or the horse.
Or us.
Or us, yeah.
And we really need to spend some time hunting, hopefully something large. Return it here, and we'll have at least an amicable relationship
owe
with the creature.
We owe Serena some meat back.
Yes, that too. But I think you might have rather not had your horse eat.
Serena, it was either.
Were you
the
that
meat on the
hungry?
fire-
No.
No.
He describes the spider's size and her state of being.
Yeah, the giant spider monster. I heard you the first time.
If you don't believe me, that's
Go
yours.
that way.
Would you like to feed her?
So one of you is
I'm okay with
of shadowy
Kurt
wound.
goes and checks it out.
The other one gets death threats from people all the time. And the two of you imagine giant spider. We're all fucking doomed. We're all doomed. This is.
Tomas, would you please chime in?
Tomas is just. I did spider. He's just getting
And
fucking.
Conrad's gonna like talk over Thomas here real quick. He's also not in great shape.
Spider lady.
He-
It's kind of cute.
That
Spider lady's kind of
There
cute.
you go. Yeah, if you just get past,
that
the
man's a
thorax,
little high right now.
if you get past the thorax and. I like legs though. Legs are nice. She has nice legs. It's funny. You guys are too much fun. Love it. So, Conrad, you're hilarious. Kirk, you head over, and you actually do see like some indents, like almost like little puncture marks on the walls and in the ground. Like maybe something had pierced them. Do you have knowledge of engineering?
Nope.
It's beautiful.
I think I do.
Did you want me to make that knowledge nature
Yeah,
check?
yeah, please, both of you.
Okay.
Please. Ooh, let me double check something.
Kurt comes back and looks at Serena and is like, looks like it may actually have been a thing.
Hey.
Oh,
Sundress?
and I gain additional information as if it had been 5 higher.
So, Sundress, that was a face spider.
A fey spider?
A face spider, yes.
You lost your name. You
No,
gave it your
No,
name.
I said
You
may
gave it your
call me-
name. I knew it.
I said you may call me Sinjal.
Sinjal. That was a face spider. These large spider-like monsters has an eerie humanoid face surrounded by shaggy mane of fur. Her fur was red hair. But they are magical beasts that exist between the material and the ethereal plane. They are neutral. They're generally not. They're not evil. They can be reasoned with, right? They are the natural enemy of denizens of the ethereal plane. So they're like hunters. They hunt more in the ethereal plane. This one obviously was here in the material plane, but they are. They're just neutral creatures, and they're pretty intelligent. They're very fast, and usually they don't speak common, but this one did, so that was interesting, right?
Oh wait, Fae spider or phase?
Phase, Phase, phase
okay.
spider.
Oh, you said
Phase,
Fae, like
I
F-A-E.
thought I said phase spider. No, it's a phase spider. Phase. But
Okay.
yes, names do have power. Even the phase spiders know that, so it probably did your name for a reason, right? That's a funny thing you should mention the Fae. I haven't really decided what the Fae's presence is in this setting. It's like I never really thought about it because like the thing with the Fae is they exist from the first world. The first world being the world that was created prior to the material plane, and the gods kind of said, we fucked up, let's start over. So, and they just let it do its thing. But no, it's interesting. I should mention that. It's funny. I'm glad Rune had that moment of, you can't even, it's your name?
No,
It's a
see,
phase
here's
spider,
the
not
thing.
a phase spider. Calm down.
See, the funny thing is, I wasn't fully thinking about it, but at the same time, I'm just like, I don't know what type of creature this is, so I'm going to be very specific in my wording, and I said, you may call me.
That was smart. That's good. So yes, there was definitely something there, Kirk.
And he's just gonna be like, that was a phase spider.
What the fuck is that?
He will basically reiterate all that. He
Yeah,
mentions the whole
Conrad has pulled
ethereal-
out his pamphlet like he did the first time and started writing notes down.
Yeah. So essentially, how much information do I have about it? Like, do I essentially have
with
like
that
it's
check, you have its stat block. You know they have poison, ethereal jaunt. You have a general idea of their combat effectiveness. Just be glad you didn't fight it. Like it could have eaten you in one chomp, right? You don't want to fight that. So it was smart. It was a smart maneuver, right? It was good. Good. So
look.
no.
I mean, if I can make this phase spider at least an ally, I can come back here and be like, hey, how are you doing? Did you enjoy
At
the
least
meal?
not
I
an
brought you
enemy.
more.
Let's calm down on the ally thing, but at least not an enemy, right? That's good. So,
I mean, like everybody can be considered an ally. It's just what stage of an ally.
so you guys are quickly able to put together a gurney that can be dragged behind the horse. Thomas is placed on the gurney, and I don't want to have you guys actually go out and do a combat of hunting an elk, but you are able to find a deer of some sort and bring it back and leave it here as an offering, apparently to this phase spider, right? That does take a few hours out of your day, so you can still get to the village at this point, but it would put you into the evening, right? So do you want to just travel straight through and travel for a couple hours at night, or would you guys want to...
Conrad's gonna speak up on this one. After the hunting and all that, with the group, debating what we're doing here. Conrad's gonna be the first one to speak and go, we should get to civilization sooner rather than later for the sake of Thomas. I did all that I can here in the field to not have him die, but I can only do so much.
Yeah.
I don't want to.
Sinjal would probably offer what he knows.
And it's that lady. I wonder if her legs were soft. There's so many of them. I just want to feel them.
Conrad's just gonna lay his hand on his shoulder. Thomas, just take a nap. Take a nap.
Reaches up and tries to touch your face.
Yeah.
Serena's like, what did you give him?
The good stuff.
Sounds great. All right, so we're gonna cut to you guys having been now traveled for several hours. The rain, still that constant deluge of rain, and you're on your way to Numush, getting closer and closer and closer. And this kitty's in my way, so we're gonna go ahead and move her off my desk. But as you guys are traveling closer and closer and closer, we are gonna cut over to a new map that we haven't seen before. There is a small stream that sort of crosses through, and it doesn't look like a natural stream for you guys. This one looks like it's likely just because of the rain. There's maybe a small little dip in the land, and this stream is where all of that excess water is starting to flow to. There's a couple of branches, some like boxes and things, and there's actually also an overturned cart that you see in this area as well. I'm going to go ahead and get you guys over to that map here in just a second. And then when we do, what I'm going to ask you guys to do is to set up a marching order. All right, I want to know what the marching order is so that I can, and then I'll have you guys set yourselves up. Could you fucking move, Cat? I love you so much, but goddamn, you're annoying.
You said it was an overturned cart as we're approaching
Yep,
it?
I'll show you the map here in just a moment.
Conrad's gonna be in the back next to the makeshift litter.
Yeah. Sinjal would probably be, if not at the front, like near the front, just because he's also good with survival himself and everything.
I like where your mind is at. All right, so I will get you guys over to this map here. If Roll20 decides to stop being a cunt. Excuse
Yeah,
my
no.
language. It's being very slow. There we go. All right, now here we are. Perfect. Alrighty, that's you guys are going to be on the bottom of the map. I will ping you there in just a moment. There we are. All right, so you guys have been traveling now for some time. I will get you set up here. We've got our man. He's being dragged. Are you going to be on the horse, Kirk? Would you be riding?
Yeah, probably.
Yep, okay.
Otherwise, I'm slower than everybody else.
Yep. So we want that. So we get you.
Well, I mean, we're already moving slowly because of the not great ground.
I'm also lazy.
It's all good. Rune probably near the front, I would assume, sir.
Yes.
Serena? Okay, perfect. Excellent. So you guys are traveling. The rain has let up slightly, very similar to when you ran into that orc that had that small fire. And you look over and you see there's an overturned cart. Looks like it's been smashed. Based on what you're seeing here, that cart looks to have been there for some time. It's waterlogged. It's looking like it looks like maybe it's been abandoned. It could even have flown here. It could even like flowed downstream at some point, right? But give me perception checks, everyone, as we enter into this.
There it is.
There it is. Beautiful. Love to see it. You'll love to see it.
They do still exist.
They do. They're just rare.
They do exist.
Rare and beautiful creatures. These nat 20s. Rare and beautiful creatures. We love them.
There they are.
Oh! Yalla,
Well, it's not
yalla.
combat time yet.
Yalla Habibi. That's great. I love that.
Yalla, baby.
Yalla Habibi. That's so good. All right. So you guys watch and you look over, and what you notice is that the setup of these particular logs don't seem natural. And with those nat 20s, you are actually going to notice a couple of small humanoid-like creatures that are crouched in and around this area. All right, and I'm sorry this isn't going to be like why would you throw those creatures in there? It's because every good low-level adventure needs to start, even though we've already started. But every good low-level adventure, you've got to have them. You've got to have them. You've got to have some goddamn goblins. All right. So you guys are going to see a couple of goblins.
Look, if that's the size of those goblins, we've got an issue.
Yeah, I'm
I'll shrink
going the
them
other
down a
way.
little bit. Okay, there's gonna be 5 of them. All right, so you're gonna see a couple of. I love you so much, Kat. Can you
Oh,
just
Luna.
go to your fucking bowl? I go to work every day. These
Yeah.
days, I'm not home. I don't work from home anymore, and she's so needy, so needy. Chelsea's at home more often than me, but whenever I get home, she's just like, "Hey, buddy, how you doing? You want to hang out? You pick me? Oh my god."
Missed you so much.
What you should do is
I
you
thought
should
you
probably
died.
like take is like, if you can, try to take like a half an hour or something like that and just lay with her.
I did that all day. I was home today, and she's still needy.
Then I have no clue.
I have no
She's just
solution,
a needy bitch.
right? I have no solution. Yeah, it's fine. Is drawing. Okay, so there are a couple of them, and they look ready for an ambush. But here's the thing: unlike the spider lady who noticed you noticing her noticing you, these ones notice you but don't notice you noticing them. So they think they've still got the drop on you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if Serena notices them. She's got a pretty good spot. Oh yeah, Serena sees them. So she stops. These goblins are like, they're like doing goblin shit, right? And they're just kind of hanging out and they're watching you. You're probably about 4 hours. It's starting to turn just like that dusk where the sun has started to like hit the horizon. And because it's dipped below the clouds, you can actually see it in the distance. So there is some good illumination here, and it's a weird, like it's rainy and overcast, but you're still seeing the sun in the distance. So it's this weird, like you can almost see like the rain sparkling a little bit, and there's like almost like little bits of rainbow that might appear as the sun hits this falling rain, and the rain acts like a prism. So it's kind of pretty, other than the fact that there's goblins that are ugly and funny. What would you guys like to do? What's the plan here?
I'd say Sinjal would be like would kind of like lean in a little bit closer to Rune and Serena, and just be like, "Do we want to try and turn their ambush on around onto them, or maybe
very slowly,
Mhm.
just kind of nodding to you as though you're having a normal conversation, and she smiles like, "Oh, yes, traveling, that's fun." Slowly puts an arrow and like knocks it.
Mhm.
She looks to Rune, seeing what he indicates he's going to do.
He's kind of doing the same thing. He's just nodding. He's like, yeah, that's a really, really great idea. Yeah, I really do like
We're
that.
almost
You
there.
know?
It's just
Yeah,
a
we're
couple
just
more hours of
about there.
travel. That's great.
Yeah, just about now in choppers.
Sure. Goblins, true. Goblins bite. Goblins eat the peepers. Delicious.
Hold on. Let me just go. Let me whistle for my face spider friend. Hey, pretty lady, I've got 5 goblins
He
food.
just shifts from the ethereal plane and starts chomping. He's like, thanks, guys.
Hell yeah.
I love goblin flesh. It's so much less stringy than human flesh. Wait,
Kirk
taste-
moves the horse close to the dead tree over here, so we can like very subtly wrap
See if
the rain
goblins
around the.
Notice you doing weird stuff. Nope. That's a one sense motive.
Minus
They're convinced
5.
their trap is working.
Excellent.
Hard convinced.
I love the
Conrad's
fact
gonna
that,
step up
this
to the
could have
group.
been on -4 on the roll on the result. That's hilarious.
Correct. They are really bad at sensing motive. So you guys are getting
Conrad-
ready.
Yeah,
What we're
Conrad's gonna
have
step
you
up to
do
the
is I'm gonna have you guys roll a quick initiative. You
Mhm.
guys are gonna get a surprise round. Okay, so everybody roll into initiative. Remember to select your token, then roll, and we're gonna have a little bit of a fight here, which should be fun. Let's get after it. I am not gonna bother rolling Thomason because he's still going. She had 8 legs.
Meh.
She was the best. I wish I with her could rest. And he's just having a good time, dreaming about his spider girlfriend. All right, and we're gonna get a little bit of combat music going. I'm gonna see what the heck happens here. Oh boy. All right, I'm gonna get these goblins in. I do need 1 goblin to have a special token. They are different. 1 goblin is different from the rest.
One of these is not like the other.
1 goblin is not like the other. Goblins also have insane initiative because, like, every monster in the bestiaries, like 90% of the monsters in the bestiaries have a group initiative.
Jesus Christ!
Wow.
Well, the good news is you are getting a surprise round. The bad news is they will be rebutted. So, everybody in initiative?
I believe we're all in initiative.
Serena draws back on her bow. She's going to take a shot at the one right here. She goes, yes, so we should just be a couple of days from the straw fire. And that arrow goes flying, and let's see if she hits. That is a 16, which actually might hit because the goblin is going to be flat-footed. Goblin Pathfinder. I want to say that their AC is Flat-footed AC is 14 plus 2 for soft cover, 16. That is a hit. She strikes true. She strikes true for 5 damage. And the goblin goes, screams as the arrow catches it in the chest. Likely nicked its heart, but it's still alive. And it starts to wail in Goblinoid. Does anyone speak Goblinoid? It sounds like if you've ever heard a
Nope.
if you've ever heard an angry animal in the woods that's injured, like in a bear trap, that's what it sounds like. It's pretty horrifying, just screeching in pain. And the one with the flag that's different than the other is like eyes wide, pumpkin heads. It's pretty great. All right, next up in the surprise round is going to be Conrad. Conrad, you get a move or a standard? What would you like to do?
Conrad would have had his short bow drawn out instead of his long sword.
Love that journey.
So he's gonna knock an arrow and take a shot at. We'll go. I can't for some reason use the tools. It's being weird for me. We're gonna go to the one to the left of the flag there.
I like it. The one that got shot
Yeah.
already. Perfect. Take him down. Start thinning the herd.
Oh, that was damage. Hold on. Still learning this as well.
That's okay. You've only played
I don't
once in
actually-
2 months. I respect you. So glad we got to play tonight.
I mean, I don't respect him, but it's not because of the way he's using weapons.
Is it his medically fascinating forehead? Is that what it is? I feel the same way.
I don't actually understand what I'm doing here.
If you're talking about attempting an attack,
There it is.
there, yep.
16. That's a hit. And that's 6 damage. That arrow strikes him in the neck. He gurgles and collapses back, dead. The other goblins start to chitter and chatter angrily as one of their numbers has been dropped. Serena looks over to Conrad and just gives him a curt nod, and her expression says, "Nice. Good job. Impressed." All right. Next up is this goblin on the hill. The goblin on the hill
Shouldn't.
has a...
No, it's the surprise round
but
still.
Let me finish. But
No.
then realizes that it's a surprise round and he can't shoot, so he waits for his turn. I was gonna make a joke and you ruined it, Brian.
That's me, ruining
So
jokes
you're up
since
next.
1981.
All right.
God, imagine being old.
All right. Let me see here. I'm going through, making sure. Let me see. That I cannot do yet because it's a move or a standard, right? During the surprise round.
Mover standard, yes.
Okay.
You can do swift actions too. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna try to study a target so that I'd get a bonus to things, but then I wouldn't be able to attack, and I figure attacking is better.
Sure.
I am. Yeah, I'm just going to. I would have also had my bow out, like ready to fire at them, and I will fire at. Let's see. Ironically, the one with the flag.
Oh, look at that. That's weird. Probably a good idea. You know what? Even in character, he has a tiny flag on his back.
I like it. Oh, wait. Oh, no. They're good. Oh, yeah. Thank God. 21 to hit. Yes.
For 2 damage, you clip him. He ain't happy, but he ain't dead. Beautifully done.
Yeah, because unfortunately, I don't have a
Surprise round for you, sir.
strength thing.
What about Kirk?
Kirk doesn't get a turn because he ruined my joke. No, go ahead, Kirk.
Yeah, fuck you, Kirk.
Wow, rude.
I'm just trying to figure out if I can run.
You can. Well, you
That's
can
a
take
move.
action, so you can do a move up to 30 feet in a surprise round. You can actually make a run action.
That's the thing. I was like, but the thing is, my speed's only 20 feet, so
You did
that puts me
to
like
yourself,
here. I
Uh,
did do that to myself.
and I love it.
Here's a question.
Answer.
Does Kirk have ranged attacks?
Yeah.
Or is he mostly melee? Okay. If you just wanted to get in closer, you could technically be like, as you moved over to the side, you unhooked the gurney litter thing and just charged it on the horse.
I'm not gonna drop Tomas. Besides, I can't fight off the horseback.
Oh,
No, I
horseback,
think what I'm gonna
right.
do is have Kirk's gonna run over and slide into this bush and then be stealthed.
Are you gonna slide into you slide into that bush as DMs?
That's right. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
Yes.
I'm trying to get some bush.
all right, I'm done. I quit. No, that's great. All right, now it's Frostren's turn.
All right. I'm going to move 20 feet, because as much as I can move.
Okay.
I'm going to position myself
For
to
now,
right here.
Get a couple more
For
fire levels.
now. Yep. But before I end my turn, I would like, if I could, I'd like to intimidate this particular goblin right here. I'd really like, hey, fuckface, over here!
Which one? Which one are you yelling at?
The one up here on the cliff.
Oh, I love that. Give me an intimidation check. The goblin, as you move forward, I mean, you're clad in like really nice armor. You got this big old shield. And you just look over to him and scream at him, and his green skin turns like almost pale, and he drops down below your vision. Just goes full prone. Just full prone. He's like, drop it out. He's like, he doesn't want that. So he is demoralized for this round. He is demoralized. Beautifully done. All right, back to the top round. Serena was targeting this one over on the hill. Okay, she was targeting that one over the hill, but with it being demoralized, she pivots and she's going to take a pot shot at the one that was clipped by Sinjal. So she's going to take a quick pot shot at him. Let's see what happens. 25. Oh, not bad. Perfect. Okay. 8 plus 1. 4 damage. Clips him again. He's still up. He's not looking happy. And he's kind of painted with like a little bit of like white paint. He's got this flag on his back. He seems a little stronger, a little tougher, likely to lead, right? That's the indication you're getting from that one. Speaking of that, this one here though is going to rush forward actually, and I'm going to have him make an acrobatics check as he jumps across some of those boxes through this sort of flowing.
That
stream.
one. Oh.
Gets an 18 and
Damn.
he leaps at Rune Frostwind, slashing out with this horrible jagged piece of metal that's been bolted to a stick of some sort. Bolted to a stick. And he's going to take a quick swing on you. 17 to hit.
I have a 23.
That's a swing and a miss. Clang! Right off of your shield, and he's chittering and gibbering at you in Goblinoid, of which you can't understand. You're pretty sure he called your mother a whore. This one here begins a war cry. It's war chant. You can tell, and what it is, Conrad, is you kind of notice there's sort of this inspirational sort of speech. It's not dissimilar to the way that you inspire yourself. Either a bard or some sort of maybe a skald, perhaps. And he's starting to speak. You notice the other goblins are starting to get worked up in this kind of frenzy at this point, right? So maybe a skald of some sort, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So next up we have Conrad, actually.
I'm going to take a shot at the at this one here,
Skald.
the scald. Yeah.
And all the goblins are like, just start to just scream and shout.
Did not do good. I got a 13 there.
It goes flying towards him and just kind of grazes past, doing no damage. And he's just tap. He's got 2 of those jagged blades in his hand. He's got his arms outstretched wide. He's
Conrad's gonna
Screaming.
be like, Serena, shoot that one,
I'm trying.
please.
All right, this one here is demoralized, but it pokes its head up, and you see it has a small wooden whistle, blows into it. The only one of you that hears something is Kirk. The other guy
damn
hears
it.
thing, and it hurts like a motherfucker. And charging from out of the bushes, they were also sliding in the bushes, DMs, are a number of nasty-looking rat dogs. Is the best
Oh,
way.
God.
Nasty-looking rat dogs.
Boy.
And you guys would notice and recognize these as goblin dogs. They're kind of like a hybrid dog-rat monster. and they come rushing out. I'm going to go ahead and roll them into the initiative here really quick, but they are going to be moving around and likely trying to flank, and they'll be going on their normal initiative. If their turn has passed, so be it. Which looks like most of their turns have passed, so that's good for you guys. But next up is Sinjal.
Okay.
I'm having fun. Thanks,
Let me
guys.
reread
Thanks
this.
for playing.
Oh, son of. Because it was a surprise round, I would have technically gotten this. No, wait, I don't think I get it at this round or this level, do I?
Well, you're level 1, so you probably don't get a lot of things.
It's
Yeah. I mean,
I will
you're not
strongly
wrong.
Shadow, you'll be level 2 after this session. So.
Yeah. Okay, so I would have
My
needed to be level 3 for
immersion!
that. Okay. Oh God, roll 20. Stop glitching out on me.
No. That's
Um,
not the roll 20 one. I love it to death, but it
This is
won't.
not the roll 20 way.
Okay. He's going to study target the flag goblin, and
That's a standard action at this level, right?
it's a move action.
Move action. Nice.
Yeah, and then he will make his attack.
Flip.
Um, and
Spider-Man?
Let me see.
But he gets one. Tell him, Brian.
I guess this will probably be the right thing to do like that. Yeah. Okay. So this is against Flagblin.
Oh no! Oh. Roll to confirm. Roll the attack again. RNG.
Wait, who am I confirming against?
You're confirming your critical miss.
Yeah.
Okay. So how does this one work?
Just
Like,
roll your attack again. That's all you gotta do. Good news. You didn't critical miss. You just missed. The arrow goes wide. Unfortunately. Your arrow, like as you let it go, like the wood was a little wet and it like slipped through your fingers. You let go a little too soon. But
Alright.
the good news is it's Kirk's turn, who has slid into this bush's DMs.
That's right.
He's getting some of that sweet, sweet shrubbery.
I'm gonna assume that this stuff here is stuff that won't let me charge.
If you make an acrobatics check, yes.
Okay, I would love to do that.
Basically, you can parkour. You have to say
Yeah.
parkour though as you do it.
I will yell parkour as I
Not in
acrobatics
character,
check through
but
there.
like oh, perfect. Yeah. So go
Parkour.
ahead and say it. Say the parkour.
Parkour.
Parkour. Excellent. Well done. Very good.
And then yeah, I will charge the guy.
Yeah. Get in there.
And then I stab him.
Yes.
Stabby stab.
Right in his stupid face.
With my short sword, I think.
Oh, you hate to see it. Unfortunately, you swipe. He brings his blades together, and like knocks your blade aside, and it just screams. And you just.
Don't I get a bonus? Don't I get a bonus for charging? Doesn't
Yeah,
charging
but
give me a?
11's not
That gets a +2.
11's
Oh,
not
so 11's not gonna help me. Cool, cool.
But I mean, it looked cool. It looked great. All right, Mr. Frostren.
Alright, noting that this goblin right here in front of me tried to swing at me, I glare down at him. Can I make an intimidation on this one
Sure.
as well? Okay. Nope.
He is in a blood frenzy, and as you growl down at him and glare at him, he doesn't seem to give a fuck.
Oh, he's gonna give a bug when I swing my
I
bastard
give a
sword
fuck when I
at
chop
him.
his head off. No, he won't. He'll be dead. That's it. That's
Okay.
it.
Uh,
You should have an attack roll in your attacks bar for your short sword.
oh, I'm sorry. Here it
No,
is.
don't be sorry. Just be better.
Well, all right. So we know he hit. So let me just All right, so
The
7.
7. So you slash down into this goblin, and you cut half of his head off, like so a third. So imagine he's got this pumpkin-shaped
Yeah.
head. You just slash down, take off half of it. Half his mouth is still there. He's still screaming for a moment, and then he just falls over. It's like swick, blap, and falls to the ground dead. Well done, sir. You still have a move action.
All right, and it is. Let's see. I'm going to. Let's see. I'm gonna position myself right here. All right, then it's my turn.
Serena pulls out. Let's flank goblin dogs.
Goblin!
This
Goblin!
is dead. This goblin here is going to make his acrobatics check. Nat 1, nat 1, nat 1, nat 1. Nope.
Holy
Wow.
shit!
He's just going to charge forward to Conrad, and with that nat 20, I'm going to give him a little bonus to his attack. Because he is going to just rush forward in a blood frenzy. His sword held like a dagger as he leaps up into the air. Like there's like a slow motion moment where he leaps up, and he's just just razor sharp teeth. Conrad, you see him, and it's like Assassin's Creed style. All right. Let's see what happens with this. I'm gonna give him a pretty decent bonus. 14. Your AC is 19. So he Assassin Creed styles up to you. Do you have a shield? Remind me.
I have a buckler.
You bring the buckler up, and there is this spark as the sword hits it and slides off, and he lands at your feet, taking and flipping the this bladed, nasty hunk of metal on a piece of wood, and he's just screaming at you. Pretty sure that was going to take out your eye, so I'm glad.
Yeah.
It was good. Goblin dog.
I'd be Thomas
Arf,
2.0.
Arf, arf, arf is going to move, double move over to there. More like squarf, because it's like a
Are those dogs genuinely that size? Are they medium?
Yeah, they're medium.
Okay, cool.
They're big.
Ah.
That was fun. Serena is like shit. She's gonna 5 foot to here, looks up to the hill, looks over to the others. She's like, gotta take that thing out. So she's gonna shoot at that. Unfortunately, at this level, she does not have precise shot. Unfortunately, the 6 goes wide. Goblin is dead. Other goblin is alive and has a kitty cat next to him. He's gonna take 2 attacks on you.
Oh no! Oh no!
Oh. Crit. 11 does not confirm. That is a hit for a whopping 4 points of damage. So he is just slashing with these 2 blades. And the first you manage to duck. The other one catches you in the chest, cutting into you and drawing a bit of blood from you as he slashes into you, just screaming in this blood frenzy. Conrad.
All right, 5 foot back, and I'm going to shoot at that one.
I mean, I like where your mind's at.
Oh, shit.
That's the damage again.
Butler-
There we go.
Oh, there it is. 4 damage. Solid blow. You hit him.
Trying to learn this though. I'm sorry.
Just screams. The arrow strikes him in the gut. It's a gut wound. He'll probably bleed out at some point, but right now he's just angry. This goblin dog here. Arf, 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 arf. This goblin dog
God
here.
dang it.
Arf, 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 arf. Goblin dog here. Arf, 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 arf. Just rushing forward. This goblin here is no longer demoralized. Gets up, short bow in hand, sees Rune, and says, "Hello, how are you?" 18 clinks off of your armor. Tinjal,
Ding.
you have 3 friends. Their names are Squeak, Squeakers, and McSqueaky.
Squeak, squeaker, squeaking. Oh boy. Frack. Okay. How to best do this? What would be? Okay. these are goblin dogs. I am not in a good position. Hold on, let me reread that. Okay, I can discard my connection to a studied target as a free action, allowing me to study another target in its place. And
Thank you
Okay.
so much for playing tonight, guys. I'm so glad we got to play. I need it.
I'm so glad we
I'm
got
so
to do
happy.
it.
I'm having a fucking fun. You guys are awesome. This is great.
okay, so I could study target onto one of these, and then probably 5 foot step away, so that I'm at least closer to Serena,
Yeah.
so that I'm less likely to get flanked like that.
I love that. I think if it was me, what I would do is I would ram it up in there and work it like a sock puppet. But I mean, take it or leave it. It is what it is.
Mhm.
Take it or leave it.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. All right. Let's see. Okay. So I drop as a free action. I drop studied target on the flag goblin and move it directly to let's say middle gobbler dog.
Okay, perfect. Yeah.
Yep. And I will not succeed.
Is that including the studied target bonus?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Or it should be.
Did you activate it on your character? Do you have a buff built for it?
I do not, but that would be a good one. But what I did was I
That
actually
would be
went
a-
in and I put in a
You
plus
put in a
one.
plus for it. Okay. Funny story. That
Mhm.
12 is a hit.
Okay.
These have dog shit AC. All right.
Dog shit.
You got it. Yeah, funny. All right.
Okay. Well,
Yeah, Squeak. It says. Kirk.
hold on. I'm trying to
Yes.
figure out what the heck's going on. Yes, I rolled a 1, but I have a 1. My modifier to strength is a 1, and the studied target gives me an extra 1. So that should be a 3.
It should be 3. Perfect. So you would deal 3 damage to the middle one. Is that right?
Yes.
Perfect. Awesome. You slash into it with your sawtooth saber, carving and cutting. The thing about the sawtooth saber is that it doesn't cut, it like gouges, which is kind of
Mhm.
cool. So this thing is like yip, squip, squip, because it's a mouse dog. So it doesn't yip, it squips.
Mhm.
So we're gonna move on from that. Yes, but Kirk, you have a friend. His
Mhm.
name is Blood Ragey
Oh.
Goblin.
And no, I didn't move that way. I moved here.
I said Kirk.
Well, no, because you had moved me in front of the other dog.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, because I was over
No, you're
here.
crazy. I don't know what you're talking about.
All right, whatever. Doesn't matter.
Kirk, your turn.
I stab this jerk in his dum-dum pumpkin head.
Please do. Son of a bitch. Well, roll to confirm, baby bird.
Ah. Wow.
A 1 and a 2. All right, Kirk, describe to me how you fail beautifully.
So you see how I'm standing like kind of on a log?
Yeah.
So having missed my previous stab, instead of stabbing, I go for a slash. But when I bring my arm back to do the slash, I actually hit my wrist right on the like one of the branches, and instead of holding onto my sword, it just sort of skids over next to the corpse of the other goblin. And then I swing, but there's no weapon in my hand now. And so then I just sort of swing at this guy with my fist, and there's nothing.
Oh, it would have been a kill shot, but you miss, and the
Yeah.
goblin is laughing and screaming at you. That's beautiful, Bri. Well stated. So your sword's over next to this goblin. I'll put a little sword symbol on him so we know that his sword is. It
Perfect.
sticks into that corpse. That's what happens. So it sticks out that corpse.
Huh.
Rune, you watch the adorable, tiny little deep-voiced cat stab a dead goblin. Throw it, but what would you like to do, Rune?
Question. What is the height difference between, like, this here?
About 10 feet.
About 10 feet? Okay, so it would require a climb.
Right.
Okay. Let's see here. Okay.
That's so... Bri, that was well done, sir. That was literally well done. I really enjoyed it.
I noticed this, and I immediately rush up, just with blade coming up, and then just take a swing right at this goblin while he is laughing his ass off.
Now we're flanking.
Ooh, that's 11?
Yeah.
Rune, how do you kill this thing?
Like I said, I just go arc my blade and just come down with a downward slash just right over his chest.
Cut open his back, revealing bone, flesh. The thing continues to scream, and then the scream just stops, and it collapses on the ground. Its war cry diminishing. Give me an intimidation check, Rune Frostrum.
Intimidation.
Just a general intimidation check. Not good enough. If you got a 20, I was gonna have them start to flee, but that was still pretty fucking badass. Beautifully done. Alright, this goblin here is like, ooh, delicious Conrad. I want to eat that. Ooh, Conrad. That's a hit. 6 points of damage. He double hands it, stabs you in the thigh. Just straight into the thigh, and twists it. Just twists it. He's like,
Man flesh.
in very broken common, he says. He's gonna eat you. He says, hello, how are you? It's like drinking whiskey like a sir. That gets me laughing every time. This little goblin dog is gonna step forward and try to take a little num-nums out of a certain Sinjal. 14's not gonna do it. Serena is like, shit. She actually takes her bow, and she's got it held. She ends up flipping it around, and you see that there are these tiny little blades on the end of it, and she's gonna like move here to here to flank. She's gonna bring the weapon down in sort of this bladed arc motion, and try to cut into this goblin that's attacking. Fortunately, an 8 does not hit, but she is flanking with it now. This goblin here is dead. Conrad, your go.
Going to drop my short bow and pull out my sword.
Love that journey for you.
I'm going to swing at little man.
Get a +2 for flanking. Just go ahead and roll. We'll add that +2 manually. Fortunately, 13's not good enough. You hate to see it. You hate to see it. This goblin dog here says, no. Sinjal, it misses, trying to chomp at you. This one here also moves in, taking a little bite. 21 is a hit. Unfortunately,
Yes,
he's gonna give him the chops. Give me a fortitude save as you take 8 damage as it gnaws onto your arm and starts to just shake.
Ooh.
And you feel like muscle tearing. Ooh, that is good enough.
Oh.
Apparently. On the nose. Boop. Boop. You love it, you love it, you love it. Alright, next up we have Doodle Skadoodle. We have Mr. Goblin Dog here who says, oh look, Conrad looks delicious. Not that delicious. You he light touches your posterior. You're uncomfortable.
Ah!
Yeah. He does that thing dogs do where they sniff your butt.
Oh yeah.
And you don't let he gets right up in there. It's terrible. All right, this goblin here is still blowing on his whistle, as it were. Let's see here, and Sinjal, it is your go. You're not feeling good.
I'm not. Yeah, I am definitely not looking good. You said he basically grabbed onto my arm.
Yes, he's not grappling you. It was just for thin.
It was a good just chunk of my arm. Yeah.
And he tore, and you can feel muscle is torn. It hurts.
Okay. I'm going to attack the same one I have a study target on.
Makes sense.
All right. Now let's see if this works. I put them in as a thing. Hopefully it actually adds it.
First off, I believe. I didn't believe hard enough.
It did not, but either way I don't. Oh no, it did. Either way, I don't think a 7 will succeed.
Unfortunately not.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to 5-foot step and
Cry.
No, don't. I need that flanking bonus.
what?
Don't worry.
You're
they'll
moving,
be
so
fine.
I'm not going to be flanking. We're not going to be flanking anymore. No, keep doing whatever you're doing. Don't listen to me.
How would you even have attempted to flank? You can only move 40.
I can move 30, thank you, because I'm gonna charge.
Oh, okay. Let me see if I go there.
Nah, man, you're good.
Let's see. I do not believe I've got anything that I can use, so yeah, I'm just going to. Yeah.
Love it. Thomas is out of his fucking mind
Thomas
right
is
now.
living his best life right now.
He is.
I can't stop laughing. That's so funny.
So Kirk's gonna charge to here. I'll make that acrobatics check.
I will allow you, if you make a good acrobatics check of at least DC 20, to grab your sword on the way there, unless you have other swords.
I have other weapons,
Nice.
but I do make it 22, so I'll I'll grab the short sword. What the hell not?
No, why not?
And then
Rule of cool.
so what my plan is actually is that essentially Kirk starts a slide through the mud about here.
Okay.
So he's coming at it like a slash across the legs,
Ooh, I like
the
that.
rear legs, so that hopefully he'll
If you
he'll-
hit with this, I will make it to where it cannot move next round.
nice.
Done. That's a hit for 5. Perfect. So this thing is going to be locked in place for this round as you slash at its haunches. Beautifully done, sir.
Cool. I also have this Vexing Grappler power, which means if I make a successful climb check as a free action, I can climb onto the thing because it's medium size.
Hell yeah, go for it.
So the difficulty of this climb check is against its CMD.
Well, this thing's CMD is amazing. Let me tell you, it's a 14.
Well, I climb it. So now I'm on this guy, and he has a -1 penalty to attack me. Oh, so everybody has a -1 penalty to attack me.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Mr. Frostren.
All right. So that's not what I wanted. Yeah. Right here. I'm going to make a charge
All right.
attack.
Give me a CMD check to break through the logs. Just like shield, smash the logs aside. CMD. Beautiful. Wonderful. He's fucking just fucking Leroy Runeskins.
he basically just juggernauted through them.
He did.
Yep.
I'm Rune Frostren, bitch.
So I do that, crouch here. And of course, there's that dog just standing right there. So downward thrust, right into
Whoa.
it.
How are you?
Hello there.
Nice.
General
charges
Kenobi.
forward, just slashing at this thing's backside as Kirk is on it, just going chink, 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 and this thing just collapses, bleeding out. Wonderful tag team, gentlemen. Wonderful tag team. This goblin here says, "Man, that man flesh looks delicious." Oh God! Does not confirm. That's good. But Conrad, you take an additional 4 damage as he stabs you in your other thigh. It's like that scene from Ace Ventura with
They're gonna take both my shins.
Oh man, that's rough. That's a rough situation to find yourself in. This goblin dog here, though, sees Kirk and says, "Yum yum 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 yum." 20. That is unfortunate. Is that a hit, Kirk?
Yeah, my AC's 19.
Hold on. It was a -1 to attack?
Yep.
So 19.
Because I was on the.
Alright. 6 damage. Ooh, he bites you. He bites you and you drop unconscious. I hate that.
I do.
I hate that. So Kirk gets nommed on. Serena says shit. Looks at this goblin in front of her and is going to take 2 swings on it. 15 with the flanking is a hit. Is a hit. She's going to deal 6 plus 2. 5 damage. She actually manages to take this goblin out and then says, "Kirk! Get to Kirk!" And Conrad, you are
Yeah.
your leg. It hurts.
I
Oh,
would
I'm so bad.
provoke-
Late night. I'm so bad. I'm such a good mood. I needed this so bad.
I'm going to swing at this one
Do it.
because I can't really get to Kirk without provoking an attack, by what I can see. And
True.
unless we played some weird pathing there, but
13's a hit. Roll some damage.
oh well, now that works.
Nice.
It's still 6 damage. I figured that out finally,
It
at
goes
least.
mixed
Yeah.
clearance. This goblin dog here says, "Ooh, Conrad, I can smell his blood." 9 is a miss. This goblin dog here is dead. This one here says, "Ooh, Conrad looks delicious. I'd like to fight
delicious
him." 12 is a
Conrad.
miss. This goblin over here continues to blow on his whistle, but his eyes dart around, and he realizes that all his friends are dead, and he blows really hard. If Conrad was conscious, your ears would be ringing. And then he turns and runs into the forest. Sinjal, you're up
Middle finger. Shoot. Later.
All right.
next. You guys, I'm going home. Taking my goblin dog whistle with me.
If I were to step into this spot right here, would I provoke or
Yes, but you can make
okay?
an acrobatics check not to provoke, which is against their CMD. You have to move at half speed, which you have plenty of speed to do so.
You said it's an acrobatics. Okay, let's go for it.
Love low level encounters. They're so scary. Beautifully done. You were able to move there and not provoke.
Okay, so this won't be pretty, but I'm going to continue to attack
Not
this
with
one.
that attitude.
Let me see here. And let's see.
There you go.
Oh! Describe how you kill this thing.
Basically what I'm imagining is he just basically like kind of like does a jump and then slide, and as probably these two goblin dogs would have attempted to like try to like bite him as he's trying to go through their spots, he just slides under and like brings his saber like and just slices the studied target's throat.
Yeah, just drags it under, cut it like gnawing, because it doesn't really cut. It's like ripping and tearing. It tears up in the throat, and blood just pours out, and it just right to the
Yeah,
ground. That
and
is
like
sweet.
and basically like I take that, I turn around and I just stare at the one now that's in between myself and
Squeak
Conrad.
growl. Squeak growl. Yeah, that was good, man. Solid blow.
And-
Nice crit, man. That was good.
Yeah, it just basically turn around and just like basically rip it right through the rest of the neck.
Beautifully done, sir. Kirk, give us a stabilization check, please.
That's a
Con check. DC 11.
con check.
Perfect. You're stable. Done. Not bleeding out. Mr. Frost Ren, there are 2 left. Your allies are somewhat wounded, but you feel great.
Dude, I feel flippin' fantastic.
That feels flippin' fantastic.
Because I'm going to move right here, flank bonus, gun and attack.
Ooh, nicely done. You cut down into this one, slashing open its side. Its guts sort of spill onto the ground, and it collapses. That was beautifully done, sir. This guy
And
is
then-
a truck.
Yep, and then I'm going to do an intimidation on the last living dog. I'm just going to imitate its own growl, just to be like, "Arrgh."
No, it's squirr. It's like a squeak growl. But anyway, you'll.
So basically just a more predatorial growl.
I like it.
Yes.
Give me an intimidation check, please.
Eh.
You know what? It was too dog-like, not goblin dog. So it just gives you a look like it gives you a look like, are you coming on to me? And
It gives you the sultry.
The
blink,
what
blink.
the fuck eyes.
she
Mama?
flips the bow around, draws an arrow, and takes a shot. 21 is a hit. That's 4 damage. She puts one right into its head, and it collapses. The sounds of combat, the growls, the goblin chanting has all dissipated. All that is left is the heavy breathing of your companions and the soft singing of a multi-legged, red-headed beauty that Thomas is dreaming about in his delirious, magically infused morphine. Magical fantasy morphine. MFM. There we are.
MFM.
The old, good old MFM. That should be canon to the Roaring Shores. I gotta give him some of that MFM. Magical fantasy morphine. So the combat has ended. Serena has another arrow knock. She's scanning around, looking to see if there's anyone about. She steps forwards and says, "That could have gone worse. Is he alive?
That could have gone better.
You look."
But we're all alive.
My legs hurt. Conrad, while complaining about him being stabbed in the legs, is going to step over to Kirk and cure light wounds.
Oh, nice. 1d8.
Yeah, and and poor Sinjal is just like he's holding his wounded arm to him, and he's just like, all right, and he's probably just like trying to like quickly like bandage it to keep it together.
5 HP back to you.
Hey.
Beautifully done. Serena does a quick scan, looks back to Rune, and while, her expression, she's somewhat serious, she's a hunter, etc., but her expression softens slightly, and she gives Rune this, like, nod of just, like, good job, and looks to everyone else giving similar nods. Perhaps I may have underestimated you all. You do fight well. Sloppy, but well.
Well, we haven't been a team very long.
We should search the bodies, and then make our way to the village. You look over and you see the sun is like a third beneath the horizon.
Conrad's going to hastily search these bodies up here.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. You guys are going to find.
Kirk's very careful about.
You find actually 147 gold in various coinage on the bodies. And then give me a perception check, Conrad, as well, as you search the bodies.
No, good. That's a natural one.
Find the gold. Does anyone else want to search the bodies for?
Yeah,
search.
Kirk as the rogue is going to make a very careful job of anything that looks like it might have pockets. He searches it.
Perfect.
Perception.
Nice.
on one of the goblins, the one that was actually Ace Ventura when Nature Calling Conrad, you actually find it looks like a stick on first glance, but then you notice that it has some arcane writing. Do you speak Draconic?
No.
Does anyone in the party speak Draconic?
No.
No,
at least not me.
I don't. No, I don't. No, I don't.
Give me a linguistics check.
That I can do. I think. Wherever it is.
No, that's not true. I have a point.
Conrad, you recognize it as Draconic. You're not sure what it says, but it looks like a wand, actually. Give me a spellcraft check. This is a wand of Cure Light Wounds. It has 17 charges left.
Oh! Well.
The goblin was using it as a toothpick.
Oh!
So it's
Made his teeth feel better.
Yeah. He's like,
Yeah.
He's healing his teeth. That's why it's got less than the max charges.
You take some time, you loot the bodies, you find some gold, miscellaneous items, nothing else of any importance. These ones looked to be... Serena actually mentions, she goes, these looked simply to be opportunists. Most of the goblin tribes are held back by either the village or the orcs. I doubt there are more, and that last one will find his death at some point in the woods. I don't care to follow him. As I said, we should make haste. The village is still several hours away, and it'll be nightfall before we arrive. The less amount of time we are on the roads at night, the better.
Conrad's going to kind of get ready, resheath his sword, get the check on Thomas real quick, and just get ready to get moving again.
Yeah, he looks to be in MFM shape. I'll say that much. He really does.
Yep. Thomas is still alive.
He's in a good spot. I'll make some serious in good spot.
He's feeling better than 90% of us.
The rest of the journey towards the village goes off without a hitch. Goes off without a hitch. And as you get closer and closer, you do see the village up ahead, and it's actually a relatively decent-sized city. Now, as I move you guys back over to good fight, by the way, everybody. You should all give yourselves a pat on the back for that one. That was actually very good and very cinematic moments that you had. So very, very nice. But as you guys arrive at Numush, you see the city ahead of you, and again, it is a decent-sized village. Probably, at least maybe 1,000 or more people that live here, perhaps even more. And as you guys make your way in, I am going to go ahead and move this over to a brand new map. And our final scene will be you guys entering into the village, which the rain has mostly stopped. It's this just sort of very, very minimal sort of drizzle at this point. And you do see some people moving about the village. It's not a ghost town. Yay, thank gods. Not a ghost town. But Serena lets out a soft sigh of relief as you enter in. Thomas has since fallen into a stupor and is sleeping. And as you guys are at the village, and you look about, a man who has dark black hair, a man steps out of what appears to be a temple. Looks to the left, notices your small group of adventurers, and offers just a genuine smile to them. And as he does so, he calls out and he says, "Ah, Serena, you've made it back. I feared the worst, dear sister." She then responds back to him in a similar and not matching, but a similar, somewhat jovial sort of manner. And she says, "Ah, dear brother, or should I say mare, I found the Gorm that was sent to help us. They need some work, but I think they'll be able to help." He laughs And that, my friends, is where we're going to end today's session. That is where we're going to end today's session.
I love it.
Level 2.
Perfect.
Level 2, everybody. Well done. Absolutely well done. And we'll begin
Yay.
next session with you guys meeting Calveris, who is the mayor of Numush, and is also the sister to Serena, the brother to Serena, her being his sister. So, great session, everybody. That was an absolute blast. I am so glad we got to play, and I hope we get to play next Thursday as well.
Yeah, so I'll see you guys in 2 months, right?
No more of that. Boys.
This time in June. Got it.
Yeah, that
I'll
was.
book
great.
it off now.
I that felt great to me. And
I
hope you guys
was
had fun.
very glad
That was
we
a lot
had
of
a
fun.
session tonight.
Yeah, that was a
Yeah.
fantastic session. Like, good job on level 2. Fantastic. Before I cut the recording, any final thoughts, questions, comments, or concerns? We'll do a little bit of a defrag afterwards, but I'm going to go ahead and cut the recording here in just a moment. Anything else to add before we wrap up to session 2?
Oh, that's great.
Only
That's
thing I
awesome.
can think
Good.
of would be like a quick thing that we should probably go through and make sure that we have everything that like is as it should be numerically.
Yeah, we'll do that. We can do that off recording, but I just want to say, as I always say at the end of every session, thank you so much to players for playing. Without you guys, this is impossible. I'm so glad we played. I was on that cusp of like, maybe I want to cancel things forever, and now it's like, nope. It's reinvigorated, and you guys were
Yay.
great. You guys
Yeah,
were
the energy of me joining and then you going, yeah, we might not play, and then Brian just
Ben.
busting
Ben
through.
just busting through, just like, oh
Or
yeah.
Ben, yeah.
That was great. That was the spark. we
That
needed.
that
So, well
hyped
done.
everything up right there.
Absolutely.
There you go.
Thank you to the players for playing. Thank you to anybody that's watching. We appreciate you. Happy gaming, everybody. And remember, the dice have a story to tell. And today it was, oh yeah, that's what they said. That's what
Today
they
it was
Yes.
get stabbed in the thighs,
Beautiful.
get stabbed.
Beautifully done. All right. Thank you, boys. I'm going to go ahead and cut the recording here. Give me just one quick second as I flip over to here, and then I cut the recording.